Tonight on Cardinal Sports Live, fall sports are coming to an end as most of our teams are done for the season, while both our cross-country teams still continue.
And both our men and women's hockey teams had a busy weekend on the road, and you're going to want to know the results of that. Stay put, Cardinal Sports Live starts right now. Welcome back to Cardinal Sports Live. I'm Joy Payne.
And I'm Jack Moore. We have a pretty fantastic show coming up tonight.
I am very excited. It's kind of sad that some of the season sports are ending, but I am very excited for hockey. How about you?
I can't wait. This is our last show before hockey season gets into full swing here in Cardinal Country.
It does, but don't you have something for the people today, Jack?
I do. I have my hard hat for later.
For later? That's for later.
Oh, it's for later.
We'll save that for later, but how about we get right into it for today? As the women's hockey team traveled to Pennsylvania to play against Newman University, the Lady Cards did not upset. Plattsburgh wasted no time getting down to business. Just 9 minutes into the first period, the Cardinals would score their first goal. Though the Knights would score seconds after the start of the second period, it wouldn't be long after that Plattsburgh would score 2 more goals. The final score was 3-1, with Plattsburgh bringing home the victory.
In their second game against Newman University the following day, the Lady Cards secured their second conference win of the season. Only 9 minutes into the first period, the Lady Cards struck first with a goal from Kayla Menigan, her second of the season. As the first period concluded with a 1-0 lead, the Knights fought back with a quick goal at the start of the second. But sooner than later, Morgan McInnes responded with her first goal of the season. This was soon followed by another Plattsburgh goal from Melissa Sheeran with an unassisted bullet tucked in the back of the Knights' net. This game left the Cards at a 2-0-1 record on the season.
And the Lady Cards faced off against last year's number 2 seed Norwich in their second game of the season. This game initially looked like a win for the Cardinals as they managed to score in the first period. Unfortunately, with a pulled goalie, the Cadets were able to score their first and only goal in the last period, sending the game into overtime. Now, both teams were unable to score in the shortened period, leaving the game in a 1-1 tie.
The women's hockey team celebrated a close victory over Manhattanville last weekend in a 5-4 win. Being down 2-1 after the first period, the Lady Cards picked up the pace, outscoring the Valiants 3-0 in the second period. The Cards had a nice cushion lead, but it was truly tested when the Valiants began to bounce back in the third period. Shannon Stewart had 2 goals, including the game winner in the third period, and this game left the women's hockey team at a 1-0 in their season opener. Now switching gears, this past Saturday, the men's hockey team traveled to SUNY Geneseo to take on the Knights in their third conference game of the season. Now moving on to the ice in Geneseo, we see the Cards struggling in the first period with a goal scored by the Knights' Ryan Donnelly. The Knights were relentless early on, leading the Cardinals by 2 by the end of the period. At the start of the second period, the bleeding didn't seem to stop when Tyler Brickler was sniping the top corner on the Cards. As the game progressed, the Cards were able to bounce back quickly with a diving effort from Luke Baleshta, making the score 3-1. As the game progressed, it was all about Plattsburgh with a relentless goal from Matt Schulthe, making the score 3-2. Along with this, the comeback did not stop, with Kevin Emmerling's backhanded rip equalizing the game, making it 3-3. The Cards had some offensive chances and were able to take the lead with a perfect rebound off of this slap shot from Michael Radisa, and his first and hopefully many of the season. Now having the lead in their crucial SUNYAC match, the Cardinals were able to weaken Geneseo's defense, scoring 2 more times in the third period before letting up another goal. Along with this, Spencer Finney had 26 saves on the day, including this easy stand-up block, and Plattsburgh was able to stay diligent with a goal from Bandon O'Quinn. Ryan Starmere was able to tuck one behind Spencer Finney, but Connor Toomey was able to answer right back with an open net. Along with this, the final match was 7-4 Plattsburgh.
A slow start to the SUNYAC Conference as the men's hockey team took on SUNY Potsdam. The Cardinals got off to a slow start when Potsdam scored in the first period. Even though both teams failed to score during the second period, Plattsburgh would score all 4 of their goals in the final period. The game would end with a 4-2 victory for the Cardinals.
The men's hockey team won an exciting shutout match at Brockport last week, out-shooting the Eagles 14-6 in the first period. The Cards were making Brockport's goaltender, Jared Lockhart, work to keep the goal protected, but soon enough, the Cards broke the streak and scored with a rip from Rich Botting, the junior defenseman. This game gave the Cards a crucial SUNYAC win and left them with a 2-0 record.
As usual, our Inside Cardinal hockey team pulled some players off the ice to ask them some questions, so you can all get to know our favorite Cardinals just a little bit better.
My preferred pregame meal is a nice pasta salad.
My preferred pregame meal would be chicken parm.
My preferred pregame meal is chicken parm.
My preferred pregame meal would be chicken parm.
My preferred pregame meal would be chicken parm.
My preferred pregame meal is chicken parm.
My favorite pregame meal is chicken parm.
Chicken parm.
My favorite pregame meal is chicken parm.
Now, I'm excited, Jack, about this hockey season. Both the men and women's team did exceptionally well in the exhibition games. The women are off to a great start. The men are off to a great start.
Yeah, they're both doing fantastic. The men's team is 3-0. They're undefeated right now. And the women's team, they're 2-1. But that tie was against the runner-up to the national championships.
Which they beat last year.
That would be us. Honestly, I think they're doing just fine at the start.
I think so as well. You know, both goaltenders are doing a great job. Spencer Finney, 39 saves in that game against Geneseo, and 29 in the game against Potsdam. Like, that is very impressive.
Yeah, he absolutely killed it against Geneseo. Even though they scored 4 on him, he was on fire that whole game. He was a brick wall in the net.
He was. Even the women's team, Allie Ross, made 21 saves in the Norwich game, and there was 15 saves, I believe, in the Newman game, which was pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. When Cardinal Sports Live returns, we're going to see how our women's soccer team did in the SUNYAC tournament.
Their first time in the tournament in 4 years, making history. So don't touch that remote. CSL will be right back.
PSTV to me means everything.
It means a lot to me.
Professionalism.
Being creative.
It means an opportunity to figure out where and what you want to do in life.
It's a lot of fun.
Having fun.
Opportunities.
Working with great people.
It's a place where I can meet people to help me get to where I want to get to in life.
Having a good time while creating good stuff. I love PSTV.
Here at PSTV, we're going through some changes. Now we're in HD, so no more grain. And no more letterbox. Hey, can we get some widescreen? Yeah. Nice. It's almost like we've stepped right into the future. Well, maybe not this far. That's more like it.
Born to lose, I've lived my life in vain. Every dream has only brought me pain.
Welcome back to Cardinal Sports Live. The women's soccer team faced off against Oneonta in the SUNYAC quarterfinals in a nail-biter of a match. With a scoreless game in regulation, Danielle Schmidt was on fire, having an incredible 9 saves on the day. With the semifinals against Geneseo on the line, the game was brought into penalty kicks. The Lady Cards were able to dominate the penalty kicks 4-2 with 2 flawless saves from Danielle Schmidt and 4 crucial goals scored when it mattered. This game brought the Lady Cards to the semifinals against Geneseo the next week.
After beating out SUNY Oneonta in a double overtime 4-2 shutout, the women's soccer team faced a terrible upset in the SUNYAC semifinals game against Geneseo. The Knights were on the offensive the entire game, scoring 2 goals in the first half. The Lady Cards tried to push back, but it would be Geneseo's Leah Green who would score the third goal of the game after assisting with the first two. Though Plattsburgh's goaltender Daniel Schmidt made 5 saves in this game, it wasn't enough. The final score would be 3-0, ending the Lady Cards' SUNYAC journey.
Our Inside Cardinals soccer team spoke with the women's head coach, Tanya Armelino, about her first season as a Cardinal and how she thinks the season went as a whole.
Nothing short of incredible. I think I've said it since the beginning of the season, and it's the same now. To walk into this kind of group of young women is fantastic. They came ready to play, hardworking, so to hit the ground running and have it be as successful as it turned out to be, it couldn't have been any better. It really couldn't. Nothing short of incredible. I think I've said it since the beginning of the season, and it's the same now. To walk into this kind of group of young women is fantastic. They came ready to play, hardworking, so to hit the ground running and have it be as successful as it turned out to be, it couldn't have been any better. It really couldn't. Finished 9-8-2 overall, ended up being the second best overall record in the conference, and then going to the playoffs, winning in the quarterfinals to advance to the semis. It couldn't have been better, and I think it's absolutely everything we hope to achieve. They wanted to win, they committed themselves fully, and that's a beautiful thing, because without that, you can't achieve it. The kids have to want it, these young players have to want it, and this team did. So it was pretty remarkable.
Now our Inside Cardinal soccer team also put together the top 5 plays from the women's season, so let's get right into it. Coming in at number 5, Cortland took a trip to Plattsburgh, but that didn't stop Cassidy Clavitt, who shot fired over the majority of Cortland's defenders, including the goaltender, to advance the Cards to a 2-0 in the match. Now let's just take a look at that beauty going in.
Mercedes Kendall snagged the 4th spot with her first goal of the season. Kendall's beautiful header straight into the net. She read that corner kick perfectly, Jack. And she has every right to celebrate as we take a second look. Now, let's look at this again. Kick and right over the defenders and the goal. Now, that's what I call having your head in the game, Jack, if I do say so myself.
Still focusing on the Norwich game, freshman Lindsay Bushy fakes out the defenders and fires a shot right into the corner of her net in the 12th goal of the season. Now let's just take a look at that top corner snipe as she breaks the ankles of the defenders, and it goes straight top corner, making the goalie dive and miss perfectly for the Cardinals.
Now this Norwich game had a lot of highlights, including the final goal from Kelly Seary, who advanced the Cardinals to lead 6-0, securing a spot for the Plattsburgh team in the SUNYAC tournament. Now let's look at this again as she goes up to the net and boom, right over the reach of the goaltender into the sweet spot. That was a pretty nice goal, and because of it, we landed a spot in the SUNYAC tournament.
Coming in at number 1 is 2-time Defensive Player of the Week goaltender Danielle Schmidt, saving not 1, not 2, but 3 penalty kicks against SUNY Oswego on their new turf, securing the 3-2 victory. Definitely calls for the number 1 spot in this top 5 countdown of the season.
Now, the women's soccer team had a great season. They did make it into the semifinals, and although we did lose, it's the first time we've made it there in 4 years.
Which I think is pretty incredible, especially with that crucial win against Oneonta in the quarterfinals. With those penalty kicks, Danielle Schmidt was on fire during that with those 2 saves.
And speaking of being on fire, she was on fire the entire season, Jack. She made a total of 91 saves this season.
That is crazy. And how about Lindsay Bushy scoring 12 goals on the season as a freshman?
And that's pretty impressive to come in as a freshman and be the lead scorer for the team.
I think it's pretty impressive.
Overall, 9-8-2.
Not too bad, and
Not too bad.
even though they didn't get as far as we wanted, I can say it was a pretty successful season for Cardinal soccer.
It was a pretty successful season, and I'm proud of them. But coming up on Cardinal Sports Live, our cross-country team wraps up their SUNYAC competition.
But they still continue the NCAA Atlantic Region Championships. Don't touch that remote. Cardinal Sports Live will be back in a few.
Welcome to Smooth Moves Cafe at College Suites, conveniently located at 59 Broad Street for our on- or off-campus students. With a wide variety of great food and amazing smoothies and shakes, with plenty of items to satisfy all appetites. Smooth Moves at College Suites is open daily from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday and open until 3 a.m. on the weekends. Don't forget to stop in on a downtown shop located at 4 Broad Street, the corner of Broad and Turkey Street. Smooth Moves for all your food and beverage needs. See you soon.
Welcome back to Cardinal Sports Live. Our Inside Cardinal cross country team put together a SUNYAC recap.
Highlighting the runners' achievements throughout the past 3 months. Let's take a look.
Cardinals on 3! Cardinals on 3! 1, 2, 3! Today, the hunted become the hunter. Everyone out there is the hunted, but hunt them down. Make moves, let's run fast. Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Revive! Revive! Revive!
The men's cross country team traveled to SUNY Brockport for the SUNYAC Championships last weekend. Leading off with an impressive 16th place finish from the freshman Nathan Doyle, the Cards secured an 8th place spot. Geneseo was able to barely surpass Cortland to take the victory, with Oneonta coming in a close 3rd place. The Cards will travel this weekend to Rochester to compete in the NCAA Division III Atlantic Region Championships.
And a big success as the women's cross country team traveled to Brockport this weekend for the SUNYAC Championships. The Cardinals would take 6th place overall. No surprise, Plattsburgh's very own Katie Eman finished in the top 10 with a time of 22:49. Freshman Haley Mooney would be the 2nd Cardinal to ring in at 30th place. Following Mooney would be Morgan Deming, Amanda Joskow, and Lauren Perschetz. The team pulled in 157 team points in the 5-kilometer race. SUNY Geneseo would be the team to take 1st place.
It definitely is exciting to see all the young talent on our cross-country teams doing so well, even in the SUNYAC Championships.
It was, and it was Haley Mooney's first SUNYAC championship, I might add.
Same with Nathan Doyle, and he came in first for the Cardinals as per usual, and got a 16th place spot. He was 1 spot off being part of the SUNYAC 3rd team, which I think is pretty cool.
But talking about the whole cross-country season as a whole, they've started out so great, so I can only see them going further. You know, the women's team at the SUNY Canton Kangaroo Invitational in the season opener came in 3rd place overall, so I don't see why we can't just take it all home.
Yeah, and the men's team, they never had a bad race. They never got below 10th place, and I can't wait to see how they do in the Atlantic Championships over in Rochester, and I think Nathan Doyle is going to do pretty well again.
As well as Katie Eman, you know, looking at her stats from last year, she has improved by 4 spots. Now, it may not seem like a lot for others, but it is a big deal to move from 13th into the top 10, you know, to 9th place, especially it just shows your agility and your ability to, you know, as a runner to gain that stamina.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in a sport like cross country. Moving up any spot is very impressive throughout the year.
And unfortunately for Amanda Joskow, that was her last collegiate game. She is a senior, so she will be leaving us, but she was a great player throughout her entire collegiate career. And I'm just very sad to see her go, but we still have some great players on the team.
Yeah, I'd say it was a pretty good season.
It was. And coming up on Cardinal Sports Live, we have another basketball promo highlighting a player who can certainly dunk.
We also have another top 5 from our volleyball season, and you do not want to miss those highlights. CSL will be right back.
This week on Paranormal Plattsburgh.
I'm so scared.
Come out. I know you out there.
So this ghost, apparently he used to be in PSTV.
Word. Come out, wherever you are. You're not the only one out there.
Oh my god, something just touched my hair.
Oh, word?
Alright, so how many people do we have to try out for the station?
Just 2.
Okay, alright, well, as long as it's not Rashid.
Why? He's so funny.
No, he's not funny. I can't stand to work with him, and he wears sunglasses inside.
Just as long as it's not that Mike kid, he's always following me around.
Hey!
Annalie!
No,
Annalie!
hey, Zach, hey!
Wait.
Hey.
Welcome back to Cardinal Sports Live. Our Inside Cardinal basketball team put together a player spotlight.
And this player certainly has the moves. Let's see who this week's player spotlight is. Now, Xavier is a great player. He actually played in all 30 games last season against Buff State, 21 points.
Yeah, he's been killing it. He had so many good games. He played in all 30 of them as a sophomore last year, which is absolutely incredible. And even against the scrimmage last week, he had 16 points and 6 rebounds in the victory. He had the most points for the team.
He did. He also brought it in for the team, and it just makes you think about what they can do this season, as we do know they did lose so close in the tournament last season.
But hopefully he can bring his stats up from last year, definitely up. I think he's going to be able to drain 180 points this year.
He could. He seems like a great player who definitely has the ability to do what the team needs him to do. Now, the whole entire team is out for revenge, especially after losing so close in the SENIAC tournament last year.
They're going to come out swinging, and it's going to be pretty great.
It is. And also talking about the men's basketball team being pretty great, Jack, I'd like to mention the Cardinal Care movement that senior captain Mike Mitchell started last year. And basically it's just to help people in need. And basically, can you tell what some things that people can donate?
Yeah, Mike Mitchell's been bringing the community together with this. And fans can be donating toiletries like shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, and any fan that donates, they get raffle tickets for a prize at the end.
They do get raffle tickets at the prize at the end. This year, this event will be taking place on December 6th at the 2 o'clock game. Now, we had an amazing turnout last year, and we could only hope that we do it bigger and better this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It should be pretty great.
And speaking of bigger and better, I do hope we can win the tournament this year. It would be great.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
calling it.
Going all the way up to the championships, that would be
pretty
even
legendary.
better.
Now switching gears, our volleyball team, like our other fall sports, has come to an end.
Our Inside Cardinal volleyball team put together a top 5 of all the great plays throughout the volleyball season. Now let's get started. Coming in at number 5 for the Lady Cards is middle hitter Emily Miller, who wasted no time against the Red Dragons, as you see right there. Straight shot down the middle.
Now the power duo Maggie Schrantz and Emily Miller had solid defense with a massive block against Oneonta's offside hitter, earning the point. Now let's take a look at this brick wall coming up over the net, stuffing one of the Red Dragons.
Our third highlight would come later on in that same match, as the Lady Cards found themselves on both ends of the spectrum as Miller's attempt was stopped, but it was Jordan L's backup which allowed the volley to be shut down by Maggie Schrantz as usual. Now, as you can see, we have Amanda Sheffer bounces up, going in, setting up the perfect shot for Emily Miller, although they block it, but it comes back. Jordan's there to save it, and of course we get the second chance to come up, and as usual, Maggie Schrantz kills it and lands the kill.
Going back to Cortland's match, it's the Miller-Schrantz duo yet again as Schrantz covers Miller's attempt with the pass at the perfect angle for Miller to try again as she hits it over Cortland's middle for the point. Now let's take a look at this. Look at the block and the dig by the Cardinals, leading up for a perfect spike by the Cardinals right over Cortland.
Now coming in, number 1 is senior outside hitter Maggie Schrantz, who collected a total of 201 kills this season. Now check out her perfect form as she goes up, cocks her hand back straight through the defenders for the kill.
Now, even though they went 6-20 this season, it was a pretty rough season for the Cardinals, but we can certainly see they had some talent out there this season.
They did. Maggie Schrantz, 201 kills, 203 digs.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. Unfortunately, it's her last season, so she will be missed.
Yeah, we do have some good freshman talent coming up, though.
We do. We have Amanda Sheffer. She had an incredible first season, especially as a freshman to start in as many games as she did. That was really great and impressive. Not to mention Emily Miller. She averages about 3 points in every set that she plays.
Which is awesome, and I can't wait to see them next year. And hopefully the team will be able to grow a little bit more, get some more wins, and maybe even put us into some SUNYAC contention.
They could do that.
Yeah, but along with this, our men's team had a pretty successful season, but that heartbreaking loss against Brockport just barely took them out of contention.
It did, finishing 9-9-1, but Alexis Archillo, sophomore, 14 goals this season.
That's pretty incredible. And how about Mitchell Jordan with 52 saves? He was a brick wall out there, too.
We do, and we know that these teams have the potential to bring in the victories, but we'll just have to wait till next season to see what they do.
Definitely. And it is that time of the show where the hard hat comes out.
It is that time. Now, Jack, as we mentioned earlier, it is hockey season, and I think you are ready.
I am very ready. I cannot wait to go to these hockey games this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think we should take a little bit of time to thank our crew for our show.
Yes, I'd love to thank our crew for being the best crew. I wish I could bring them all on camera, but we can't. And I'd like to thank most of all our producer, Colleen.
Colleen is fantastic.
She is fantastic.
She has made this show what it is today, and it's fantastic.
She has made it pretty great with her guidance. And I'd like to thank you, Jack, for being such a good co-host.
I would like to thank you for being such a good co-host.
Thank you. Now, that's all the time we have for today, and I hope you stick around. Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Cardinal Sports Live. I'm Joy Payne.
And I'm Jack Moore. Have a good night.
Now,